In today's video, we're looking at a brand new PlayStation Store sale that is kicked off and you can take advantage of it right now. No, it's not as massive as the impending Black Friday sale, but a couple of cool titles to check out nonetheless as a part of that. Also, for a limited period of time, you can play one of the most popular multiplayer games released this generation absolutely free. It's going to enjoy another free weekend. We've seen this before, but that's something to look at as well. THQ has made a gigantic revitalization as THQ Nordic, and they're not done yet. They've actually got 35 more games that have yet to be revealed, and we know details on another game that has been confirmed to be coming sometime in 2019. Want to go over THQ Nordic because again, they've seemingly come back from the depths of hell. Also, we've got a pretty interesting PS4 game releasing next month in the strategy game Kingdom 2 Crown Shogun. I want to take a look at that as that's been a franchise that's made quite an impact on PC. First of all, let's take a look at the brand new PlayStation Store sale, and it is a Final Fantasy sale. A bunch of the Final Fantasy games are discounted, including Final Fantasy VII, Dissidia Final Fantasy NT, Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, Final Fantasy 9 Digital Edition, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, Final Fantasy 14 is on sale, Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition is on sale, as is the 10 and 10-2 HD Remaster Collection. As far as the games I would check out as a part of this sale, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition definitely isn't a bad buy, and I don't have to say that you should wait for the definitive edition anymore, because we know the majority of the impending DLC content has been cancelled. We're only getting episode art in, so if you've been on the fence about Final Fantasy 15, if you've been following my advice in waiting for that super duper Ultimate Edition, now I can just say, go ahead and buy the Royal Edition because the content's been cancelled, and what you get out of the Royal Edition is still very, very sizable, and I really thought the Royal Edition's content is what we should have gotten out of Final Fantasy 15 from the get-go. But hey, better late than never, and now you can get all of that content for just $24.99, and it's a game that'll keep you busy for quite a while. Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age is also very good. That's down to $24.99 as well. When you actually compare the quality of FF12 and FF15, maybe you'll look at FF15 being that newer game, much more technically impressive, and them being the same price might deter you away from FF12, but I personally really enjoyed Final Fantasy XII. It was one of those Final Fantasy games that had a mixed reception at launch as well, but I think over time people have appreciated Final Fantasy XII more and more. The only real issue with it, I think, was that it did have some issues. Namely, I wasn't a big fan of the story because of the main character. Vaughn just wasn't the most engaging main character out of a Final Fantasy game, especially if you compare him to some of the great FF main characters throughout the year, but the entire cast is still very likable, and there's a lot of content in that game as well. If you've never played Final Fantasy XII or you want to revisit the game, The Zodiac Age is a great way to do so. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT was a game that I was very lukewarm on at launch because it was priced at $59.99. Now that it's down to a much more palatable $20.39, I think it is worth a buy. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy, don't get it if you just want a quality fighting game because it is a little bit sparse on the content. However, if you're a big fan of Final Fantasy, there's a lot of fan service here, and $20 for that isn't bad. Of course, Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster for $12.49 is quite good. Final Fantasy X is a very iconic game. However, at this point in 2018, if you're playing the game at this point in 2018, you're going to notice a lot of dated mechanics, especially when you look at the animation. It was one of those first games that have full voice acting, a very early PlayStation 2 game, and at the time it was very technically impressive. But at this point, definitely hasn't aged all the best, but still a solid buy at $12.49. Again, a couple of other titles on sale as well with FF7, FF14, FF9. So some good titles to check out if you want to get a couple of good JRPGs. Moving on from that, those games are on sale, but how about Rainbow Six Siege? You can play that for free this weekend. Now, Rainbow Six Siege in its totality has been a very well-received game. However, recently there has been some controversy surrounding it with some of the changes that they've made, some of the censorship, and I definitely understand where gamers are coming from with that. However, it is seeing a free weekend from November 15th until the 18th, so you can play the game absolutely free for that duration. It is also going to see a significant discount, going 70% off from November 15th to November 27th. You'll notice that it's on sale from the 15th to the 27th. The 27th is actually when the Black Friday PSN sale ends, so I think the timing with that, they got it right. Would have been nice if they put the entire game free for the entirety of Black Friday week. I think that would have been a cool thing to do, and it's not like it would hamper sales all that much, but whatever. The fact that they are giving it a free weekend, I think that's very nice. We see things like that on PC pretty regularly, and on PlayStation 4 it's become more and more of a commonplace to see free weekends for games like Rainbow Six Siege, games like Overwatch, and other multiplayer experiences, and I think it is a good way to jolt some life into a game and get people that are a little hesitant or skeptical about trying out a game to get in. Again, that free weekend will be lasting from November 15th to the 18th, and you can enjoy a 70% off discount on the game. Moving on from that, THQ Nordic is a publisher that has made an incredible revitalization. THQ was a publisher that went under for a while, but then they were reborn as THQ Nordic, and they've put out a lot of interesting titles, and they have a lot of games in the works. Specifically in the Q3 financial call, here's what was said. Quote, by the end of the quarter, we had 55 games under development, of which 35 are still in the pipeline waiting to be announced. We are patiently working on adding more great companies into the group, both developers and publishers. This is a daily proactive activity within the parent company, as well as within both operating groups. Here's what THQ Nordic is getting real right in my eye. They're not trying to create that blockbuster experience that is going to sell millions upon millions of copies and a game that they can monetize for years on end. Rather, I feel like THQ Nordic is really specializing in understanding their audience, knowing what kind of games they want, and sure, they might not sell incredibly well, but there isn't a gigantic investment being put towards these games as well, and they can still sell well enough where they can profit, and they do have other exciting games in the works. With games like Darksiders 3 and Biomutant in the works, they also have those bigger experiences. However, they're rounding out their library with some smaller games, some remasters. We saw that with Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition, and of course, they recently acquired Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. That would be a fantastic game to see remastered, and a game that I think would do incredibly well if it was remastered onto the PlayStation 4, priced at like $19.99 or $29.99, bundled in with all of the DLC. The investment in creating a remastered KOA isn't going to be gigantic. However, it would sell pretty well, and who knows, that could open up the door for Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning 2 or something of that nature. They do say they have 55 games under development right now under their umbrella. Of course, that's a massive undertaking, but I'm sure they have a lot of different studios working on specific titles, and some of those games are going to be smaller experiences, while other games will be a little bit more vast, like a Darksiders 3 or a Biomutant. But THQ Nordic is experiencing a very interesting time. I really want to monitor how they develop in the coming months, and more specifically in the coming years, because this could be one of the biggest and more underrated gaming stories of the coming years. Something to keep an eye on, but right now they do have 35 games yet to be revealed, and Wreckfest, another game that they're working on right now, which was supposed to release in 2018, it has been now confirmed for a 2019 release, so hopefully that does pretty well. And lastly, I do want to give a shout to Kingdoms 2 Crown Shogun. It will be making its way over to the PlayStation 4 next month on December 11th. This is the next iteration in the successful micro-strategy franchise. Kingdom 2 Crowns will allow players to venture to exotic biomes across the world through expandable content. On day one of release, play as the mighty Shogun, enlist the support of the ninja, lead your soldiers to battle atop the mythological Kirin, and form new strategies as you brave the greed hiding in the thick bamboo forest. Kingdom is a pretty notable franchise on PC, so it'll be nice to see this new game making its way over to the PlayStation 4 on December 11th. The title, I think you guys should keep your eyes on. Maybe not a day one buy for everyone, but when it does go on sale, say for like $5, definitely going to be a quality pickup. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, the PlayStation Store is running a pretty solid Final Fantasy sale right now. Don't worry if you want a bigger sale. The Black Friday sale is kicking off this Friday. Rainbow Six Siege will be free for the weekend from November 15th until the 18th, and you can enjoy 70% off on the game from the 15th to the 27th. THQ Nordic has a total of 55 games under development, and 35 of them have yet to even be announced. And Kingdom 2 Crowns will hit the PlayStation 4 next month on December 11th. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.